Hey, what's up? You are tuned in and back at the Bougie AF channel with your host, Shug Avery. I just got to the place in life I was just like, I don't know. I'm just bougie. Now let's get into the show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? You're tuned into the Bougie AF channel with your girl Shug Avery. And I'm sitting here with keeping my lips glossy and bringing you another video. But if this is your first time to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can get those notifications when I do schedule a live. Anyway, so remember I told you guys I won't stay on like trending topics and stuff all the time. So we're deviating right now. So there was two stories recently that came out that caught my attention, and I've always wanted to talk about the conversation. And of course, we overkill the conversation about snitching, right? And what snitching is, and everyone seems to have their definition of what snitching is, right? And I'm not even at this point, like I'm not even concentrating on the street type of like have anything to do with what's going on in the street. I want to talk about the snitching and applying what people feel about snitching to situations that have to do with children, right? So there was this incident I remember. I wish I could get the story for you guys. I think it was like last year sometime I talked about it on my show, where this father had went to go get his children from his baby mother's house, and the house was filthy, over the top, crazy filthy, right? So he when I tell you like I've never seen so many mountains full of stuff. Like the house should have been condemned, type of filthy, right? The tub, like it was just disgusting, right? It was just sad. So I remember the conversation, and someone had brought up this situation to me because I guess the father had called the people, DCF people, their version of DCF, and that's the Department of Children and Families, whatever it's called in that state. I guess the father had called them on the mother. So I was really surprised to see there was so much conversation about whether or not the father was snitching, right? And that's effed up that he could do that to her and da 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 da. And I'm like, yo, like I didn't even know that we start talking about snitching when it comes to like families. So it comes to children, right? Like I didn't think that applied. That mentality didn't apply to children. Like that's sad as fuck, right? Why would you sit back and be okay with what is happening to a child? You know what I mean? So I take that to say like like I said, there's two stories. Um and I believe that, when you see behavior and its effects on children, that you do the right thing by the child, like above anything else. But there's a situation where this mother, let's take a look at this story. It's a Chicago woman, and it says no bond for mother Simone Austin, charged after 5-year-old Serenity Arrington is stabbed to death in East Garfield Park. So it says here a woman was ordered held without bond after she was charged with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of her 5-year-old daughter on Chicago West Side. Simon Austin, 27, was charged with first-degree murder in the death of her daughter, Serenity Arrington. According to police and Cook County prosecutors, a judge denied her bail at her bond hearing on Monday. Detectives and prosecutors said Austin cut Serenity's throat in front of her 8-year-old sister using a serrated knife. Let me tell you something. The fact that somebody could do this to their child is just, when I tell you, that's horrific. It is so horrific. Like I just even like locally, like we had something like that happen, like where I'm from. And I remember speaking to a police officer who walked in on seeing something like that. The man has not been able to go back to work. Like he literally retired. He like mentally he's been so messed up. And at the time this young girl was 5 years old. But like you don't recover from seeing something like that. You get what I'm saying? So to see that this 8-year-old girl watched that and it was her sister, come on. Like this baby's life is going to like it's gonna be hell. Like how do you erase that out of your mind that you watched your mother kill your sister? So hold on one second. Okay. Okay, and so after she stabbed her 8-year-old I'm sorry, her 5-year-old daughter, she invoked the right to remain silent after the arrest. It says at Austin's bond hearing, prosecutors said Serenity mother had asked the older girl to leave the room, and she watched through a hole in the doorknob as Austin pulled the knife out from under her pillow and cut Serenity's neck. The sister screamed and then saw Austin stab Serenity. Prosecutors said that the sister tried to pull Austin off Serenity by her hair. Her grandfather, who was also living in the same apartment, had gone out to get coffee at the time and came back to find the front door locked. When he went to the kitchen door in the back, the daughter told him her mommy killed her little sister. Keep that child in your thoughts and prayers because this will obviously be with her for the rest of her life," said Chicago police. Jeez. Well, I'm trying to get to the part where they said why she did it. Let me see. Because this is all over. So this is a story, but this one was all over eggs. I guess the little girl spilled the eggs on her front porch. And that's why she attacked her daughter like this. Limousine. It says prosecutors said the grandfather saw Austin undressing when he got inside the apartment and immediately went out to the porch at the older sister ran outside yelling that her mom had killed her sister. This is some sad shit. Y'all gotta see her. That's her right there. We can make it a little bigger for the sake of the conversation. That is her. Her name is Simone Austin, 27, from Chicago. Paramedics rushed Serenity to Stroger Hospital of Cook County, where she was later pronounced dead from multiple stab wounds. Prosecutors said one of her wounds to her throat went almost completely through to the back of her neck. Oh my God. Look at how beautiful this baby is. The Illinois Department of Children and Family Services has been called to the home in the past, but the details were not immediately available. We've had previous calls there for domestic violence where the mother was the victim of domestic violence and other people in the family called Chicago police. Chicago police. Whatever. David Brown said on Monday. Wow. Brown said Chicago police would send us more information about domestic violence related calls, but as late Monday, we had not received the information we requested. Prosecutors said Serenity's older sisters told investigators about a previous incident when she saw her walking around with a knife because the little girl had spilled some eggs on the porch. Okay, that's the part I was. Okay, so let me correct it. So it wasn't that this incident where she stabbed the girl's throat was. Let me make sure. Let me read it again. Prosecutors said Serenity's older sister told investigators that a previous incident. Okay, so this was a previous incident where the older sister had watched the mother walk around with a knife because a little girl had spilled some eggs on the porch. Wow. Austin does not have a prior criminal background, officials said. Her defense attorney said she dropped out of high school and her parents were living on the street. She worked at Walmart until May 2020, where she stocked shelves. There is no indication that she has ever harmed her children before. Neighbors said they saw Serenity just the other day, and now they can't believe she's gone. They describe her as happy and friendly. It is just sad, just out of nowhere," said neighbor Jose Malhar. "I seen her just yesterday, and today in the morning she's gone. It's just sad." It's not clear what led to the stabbing, but Austin walked up to officers and was taken into custody at the scene. Detectives earlier said that they were investigating to see if Austin had a history of mental illness. Detectives are looking into that so that they're touching base with the DCFS and everything else. So basically, they're checking with DCF about the lady's mental health issues. Wow. She remained silent and didn't say anything. So we really don't even know why she did this one. And then the daughter, like that behavior right there, that daughter. Prosecutor said Serenity older sister told investigators about a previous incident where she saw her mother walking around. So I wonder if she ever told anybody about that. I wonder if she ever told anybody about that, because to me that's so important. Like, I think even when it comes to children and, teaching them not to open their mouth and not to tell their parents' business, that's the most important thing we tell, oh, what goes on in the house stays in the house. Don't be running my business out this house and stuff like that. So I just wonder, like, when do we say you're supposed to speak, right? We just finished talking about when people are not snitching when it comes to children. Don't feel like that's acceptable even when it comes to children. But when do you teach your children to say something, children to speak up? And I would think, if we're gonna keep it real about mental health, that a grandfather, or if they were aware of her mental health, which it seems like someone else may have had to hear that story. We don't know that. But at the same time, this behavior is not new, right? This is one-off behavior that this little girl's seen, right? Usually, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So that I don't believe that this is something that out of the blue happened. I believe that, like we know in our community, when people have some mental health, that we're always telling them, we're always overlooking it, right? Oh, because that's just who they are, you know what I mean? Until something like this happens, right? So I guess what I'm puzzled by, and I'm going to get to the next story. I'm puzzled by, like, when would this child be? It'd be okay for this child to speak, and it'd be acceptable, and people wouldn't feel like the child is not doing the wrong thing, because she should have told a teacher. The grandfather should have been aware. Like, there should have been situations where somebody in the family spoke to the 8-year-old daughter and said, I know you notice mommy's behavior. If you ever feel unsafe, if you ever need to call me, even if you ever feel like it's so bad you need to call the police, I'm telling you, it's okay, baby. Call the police. Like, why are we not having those conversations? Because nobody want to say nothing. Everybody mind their business and all that other shit, right? The normalization of it all. Like, more or less, when I do these videos, I'm talking about things that have been so normalized in our community that we're just not really talking about, right? As we get better and as we grow and try to fix what's going on and hold ourselves accountable for our fuck shit. Because, I mean, truly, that's the only way we're going to get better, right? If we hold ourselves accountable for our behavior. All right, so this, like I said, that 5-year-old Serenity that was in Chicago, this happened on, let me get the date, September 29th. We're on CBSChicago.com. So this was September 29th, okay? So this one happened first. So now here's the next one. Oh. So I originally, if you guys want to hear, I mean, I tell you guys, I listen to Tommy. He overdoes it when he goes in on women. I mean, I'm gonna say he overdoes it because there's a 5-year-old girl that's dead, right? So is there such thing as overdoing it when you're talking about people who's doing this type of behavior? But I mean, like I said, I listen to him, but I wonder if, okay, so a woman stabbed her own daughter to death because she ate her eggs. Okay, so he covered this story. So 29th. So recently there was a gentleman I know for sure. This just came to my head, that killed his wife and 2 kids. I think he killed his wife and 2 kids. I don't want to know if Mr. Tommy covered that. So let's see. So we can just keep it fair and see, like, how biased people are. If they give that same type of, the bald head, scallywag, black bitch energy that they give to black women. Let's just see if they're giving it to men and black men in general. Where's your videos? Okay, let's see. Okay, so he covered Vlad. He covered what's his name? King Face. But I mean, it was still complimentary. Not to say he shouldn't have been complimentary. I'm just trying to see where he gonna cover this white man killing his wife and his 2 kids. You know what I mean? Where's that story at in this right here? And let's look and see when that man killed his 2 kids. I gotta take this off for a second. Be right back. Trying to see if niggas is keeping it fair. I still like Tommy, so I don't care about making this point. But I feel like if you're gonna talk about something, kind of go back and forth on the pendulum of it. But I mean, I can't tell nobody what to do. I'm still gonna watch. All right, let me see. I'm just looking for that story that I seen when the man did that to his wife and 2 kids. Here it goes. Okay, so here's the story. Chris Watts wrote a letter explaining how he murdered his family. Let's see. Okay. All right. So no, I just heard about the story, but it happened in 2018. But I just still don't understand why he don't cover stories that have to do with men going crazy and losing their marbles too. He makes sure he heavy on the women's side though. Heavy on the women. Heavy. But I get it. That's his thing. Anyway, so where was I at? Okay, so Randy is stabbed to death. Okay, so then there's this other story, right? Bear with me. Okay. So that was the 29th of September, that story, right? Right, we said that was September 29th. So here's this story, just recently that just happened. And these niggas are a fool. These ones right here that I'm about to show you. And I'm going to show you, I could have showed you the video on that one, but I'm going to show you the video on this one. Because y'all got to see this shit. Like, for real. When I tell you niggas know how to act it out, niggas know how to they know how to give you a full Denzel Washington Academy Award winning scene when it comes to trying to get away with some shit. When it comes to trying to get away with murder, like, for real. Like, Tim Norman shit didn't show you. Why can't we hear y'all? Right. I don't know what that's about.
Hey, there's Corny right there.
Okay, I thought I had fun with one with someone giving a newscaster or something. Hold on. Hold on. Let's try this one. And this was in Houston. Mom boyfriend put body of 2-year-old Malia Bass in storm drain after her death, prosecutors say. Come on.
Her death, as Anayeli Rui, 2-year-old Malia Bass. This after the child's mother and her mother's boyfriend are now in custody in connection to her death. As Anayeli Ruiz reports, only her mother's boyfriend appeared in court overnight.
It was supposed to be the first court appearance for 20-year-old Sahara Irvin and her boyfriend, 21-year-old Travion Thompson. Both were arrested last night and were charged with tampering with evidence and injuring a child. The body of 2-year-old Malia Bass was found in Brays Bayou back on August 23rd. A jogger found the little girl just one day after her mother reported her missing. The child's mother claimed she had left Malia alone for about 5 minutes in the Courtyard Bay area of a Southwest Houston apartment complex. Irvin was not at this probable
Are you
cause
really
hearing
smiling,
due to
though?
medical reasons, but Thompson was in court. Court documents say Irvin struck the 2-year-old with a blunt object, and they say that Thompson failed to protect Malaya from her mother.
The defendant and her boyfriend, the co-defendant, injured and killed the 2-year-old complainant. After the complainant's death, the defendant and the co-defendant put her body in a sewer drain where it floated into the bayou and was discovered by a citizen.
Thompson has 2 bonds totaling $150,000. Irvin has 2 bonds totaling at $175,000. If she sets bail, the judge has ordered her to get a GPS monitor and has set a curfew from 10 p.m. until 8 a.m. The couple is scheduled to appear in court tomorrow at 9 a.m. Ana Yeli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
All right, so yeah, let's read about that a little bit more because I was a little bit confused. I mean, because she kind of went really fast, so bear with me. No.
Nice.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you a question?
All right, so, all right. Houston, Texas, and this happened October 7th, right? By Doug Delaney, K. Houston. So, because we're learning more about the criminal charges filed after the body of a little girl was found in a Houston bayou over the summer. The child's mother, 20-year-old Sahara Irvin, and the mother's boyfriend, 21-year-old Travion Thompson, were taken into custody and charged for injury to a child and tampering with evidence on Tuesday. A probable cause hearing was held overnight. There are still many questions about the case, however, including the timeline of when the 2-year-old Malaya Bass went missing and how exactly she died. Prosecutors did say Irvin struck the child with a blunt object. Okay, so Irvin is the mother. Okay, so the mother hit. Okay. So the prosecutors did say Irvin, the mother, struck the child with a blunt object. A jogger found the little girl's body in the Brays Bayou on August 23rd, just 1 day after the mother reported her missing. The child's mother claimed she left the toddler alone for about 5 minutes and in the courtyard play area of a Southwest Houston apartment complex. After the child's body was found in the bayou, her mother and her mother's boyfriend were brought in for questioning multiple times. Houston police said on Monday they again brought the couple in for questioning after evidence of their involvement in the disappearance of Malaya was discovered. They were arrested and charged the following day. Wow. Prosecutors alleged that Irvin and her boyfriend injured the 2-year-old, and after she died, they put her body in a storm drain where the child remains floated about 20 miles to the bayou. Wow. Thompson, the boyfriend, was in court overnight, but the girl's mother didn't appear due to medical reasons. The initial story that they told police and the public was Malaya was last seen alive playing in the courtyard playground. Throughout the investigation and media interviews, the couple appeared to be inconsolable and emotional about Malia's disappearance. Let me tell you, that performance that they put on, man, wow. And it lets you know that people are really capable of doing that shit and putting on a good performance that you don't like you're just like, whoa, they're going through it. Like even with Tim Norman when it came to his nephew. Y'all remember how he did a good job. I mean, he played the part like he was scared, needed a bulletproof vest to go to the funeral. I always felt like he wore that bulletproof vest to try to say, I don't know who's after my family. I'm just suited up, try to play that through. You know what I mean? So, hold on.
Dog on the scene, and as soon as the dog came, the dog passed out. Then the helicopter, right after that, the helicopter ran out of gas. There was nobody looking. The community did better than what the police did. My baby could have been anywhere at any time.
Look at that.
And they
know when a baby cries, ain't see no tears in their eyes.
They bashed me and my girlfriend.
Do y'all see a tear? Oh, this nigga is trying hard. He trying to get that
tear. She know
tear.
her ABC. She know her 1, 2, 3.
Look at him.
She know her colors. She only 2. She know how to sew. Very well because of us. Me and my girl. She was smart. She was growing up to be something.
When was the last time you
Niggas
saw
ain't
her?
shit.
Yesterday
Last time I saw her was with my gal before my gal put her in the park. She came and gave me a hug and told me she loved me. This is her routine every day. My mama could tell you that she loves me.
I remember when they were
This
looking
is
for
her
this girl.
routine to tell me she loves me, hug me. And I sit here and play the game. She come for me, you know, we eat and everything. That's the only reason why my gal came in the house is to fix us something to eat because we haven't ate. So I called her and told her in 5 minutes. It was only 5 minutes. She was so. And they don't realize my apartment, the rent lady was.
Have y'all seen a
had
tear
whole
yet?
Operation, a sting on her.
I see sweat.
For sex trafficking.
It's
and they
Houston.
the lady out the
It's hot as hell. I know. Ooh. Oh, I want to see the video where the mother fall out. I want to see where the mother. They have a video where the mother fall out. Let me see if this is it.
And tonight we are asking the question, what happened to a little girl named Malia Bass? The 2-year-old's body was found in a bayou nearly 20 miles from her home more than a week ago.
Tonight, Malia's father is telling us he wants justice for his daughter. Here's Grace White. Reminders of a little girl outside the Southwest Houston apartment she called home.
I really never got to be a dad until her life was be a real father.
What's the daddy?
The father of 2-year-old Malia Bass wants to know how she ended up dead in Brays Bayou.
I want a person.
Wait, who was the other nigga? Wait, who was the other nigga in the red? I know I'm not missing something. That don't look like the same nigga. That ain't the same nigga. So this is okay. Okay, let's get back to it because you know I be having problems with you new hoes and how y'all be having y'all new niggas around your baby so fast. It aggravates me. It aggravates my soul. It really does.
Who did it to come forward?
Octavius Bass lives in Dallas, where he brought his daughter's remains.
I wanted to bring her down here and try to have something. A nice funeral for her.
Back home in Houston, Malia's mother's boyfriend has been critical of the investigation.
Y'all supposed to have 4 or 5 dogs
this is
looking
the
for
boyfriend.
my baby.
He and the mother say Malia was at their apartment complex's playground when the mother stepped inside for a few minutes. That's when they claim Malia disappeared.
I believe that they're probably close to knowing what happened.
Tim Miller with Texas EquiSearch says his volunteers were looking up and down the bayou for 2 pieces of key evidence, her toy bag and her clothes. They didn't find them, but they did spot a surveillance camera that showed investigators how high the water got from recent rain. And Miller says there's something else they're keeping an eye on.
There's an area that's being protected right now as we speak, in case we need to go to that area and look for some other evidence.
While this father waits for answers, he says he just wants one thing for his daughter.
I just want justice. I just want to put her to rest and justice for her.
Malia's funeral is planned for Friday at noon in Dallas. The medical examiner has still not ruled on her cause of death, but Houston police tell us they're approaching the case as a murder. Lynn and Mia.
So very.
All right, so but now police say they knew what happened all along. Let me go up a little bit and read down. Prosecutors alleged that Irvin and her boyfriend injured the 2-year-old, and after she died, they put her body in the storm drain where the child's remains floated about 20 miles to the bayou. Thompson, the boyfriend, in the court overnight, but the girl's mother didn't appear due to medical reasons. The story Irvin and Thompson initially told police and the public was Malia was last seen alive playing in a courtyard playground. Throughout the investigation and media interviews, the couple appeared to be inconsolable and emotional about Malia's disappearance. So I don't know if you guys seen it. It was so fast in that last video where Malia's mother falls onto the ground with the ladies around her. But now police say they knew what happened all along. In court overnight, a judge set bail at $175,000 for the mother and $150,000 for the boyfriend. If she posts bail, Irvin will have to wear a GPS monitor and will have a curfew from 10 p.m. until 8 a.m. The couple is due back in court on Thursday morning. Wow. On Tuesday, the child's father said he still wants more answers. Wow. I'm confident foul play is involved in what And what the family wants now is justice, the Houston police chief said. Wow. That's crazy. So this happened around August 23rd, and they just now finding the body and filing charges on the mother. But like I said, this shit is crazy. For the boyfriend, you seen her knock her baby out and you cool? You thought that this was mother of the year that could stay with someone like that? You thought this was mother of the year, that you would stand by and not say nothing after you seen someone do that to their child? When do you snitch? When do you say something? When do you say something? Like, you can sleep with that? And that's that bullshit, yo. That's that bullshit. There's no reason why somebody should hesitate. Somebody shouldn't do the right thing automatically when it comes to children, when children are involved. Like, I would have no problem with it. I promise you. I promise you, I would have no problem. A child? I don't know. The fact that, and maybe because it feels like 2020 is doomed year, and 2020 is exposing the darkness and the evil amongst people. It's now being shown more than ever that people think that this is something they're debate about, but it's really not. I don't know. That was my thoughts and opinions, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. But y'all be blessed, y'all be black, and y'all know what we do. We keep it bougie and posh over here. And I'm out. Bye.